Do you remember when you got your first job? And wonder of wonders, your first payday. Your boss hands you your pay envelope. You reach in, you pull out your paycheck. You reach back in, pull out your owner's guide to money. Oh, you didn't get one? Well, how did you learn about money? Did they teach you in high school? No? Oh. Well, the sad fact is, nobody teaches us about money. Um, we've got some people who learn about it quickly on their own and are pretty successful. Others, it takes them decades to find out how to use money effectively. And many, many people never learn how to use money effectively. This is a serious gap in our education, or the lack of a financial education. I'm going to try to help you solve that problem today. When I talked to my parents about what to do with my money, they told me, save your money, kid, which was a great thing to do, but they were a little short of detail on how to do that exactly. So I decided that I'd get a how to book written by a famous author. What I found was that I had already done most of what was in the book, like establishing credit. The rest of the book seemed to be outdated. I later realized that it takes about 3 years to write a book, get it published, and get it on the news shelves, so it was pretty much outdated before I even bought it. Then I went to the financial news on television. Now, how you can have two people, because they want to be fair and balanced, you have two people looking at the same economy and the same market conditions, and they come up with two completely opposite viewpoints. They both sound very good and very convincing, but I found it to be more confusing than convincing. And I figured that I had a 40% chance of making money, a 10% chance of breaking even, and a 50% chance of losing money. Those odds did not inspire me to take any kind of action. From there, I went to the newsletters. It seemed like my money was spending more time in transit between this fund and the other fund and not in a fund making money. Yeah, they made enough money to pay for the newsletters and not much else. Now, bear in mind, at this point, I still haven't solved the problem of having some reference guide of some type that's going to help me answer the question of what should I do now? Now, I know there's two problems with this. Problem number one is that every time I ask this question, it's on a different day. Sometimes days years apart, sometimes closer together. But it's a different day, and everything has changed from the last time that I asked the question. You know, the markets change by minute, politics change by minute, even the economy changes maybe not by minute, but within a short period of time, weeks, the economy can change. So there's that problem. The next problem is that I'm me, Tony Constantine, not Joe from down the street and not Harry from across the country. I'm me. I've got my own set of goals, my own desires for what I want from life, and my own viewpoints. So whatever book I get has to be written in the context of me. In 1993, while I was winding up a business interest in another industry, I made the decision to enter the financial services industry. And shortly after doing that, I was exposed to the concept of comprehensive financial planning. Now, what I found out was that a financial plan, in the most basic, simplistic definition, is that a financial plan is a document where you tell it who you are, what you want from life, and it tells you how to get it. Now, that sounds very simple, and in reality, nothing is ever that simple. But a financial plan, as I said, will tell you what you want, or you tell it what you want, it tells you how to get it. That sounded like the very answer that I had been looking for all these years. Now, when you go to have your financial plan created, a couple things you need to bear in mind. You are going to need some help with it. I recommend a professional experienced in financial planning. And most financial planners, if not all of them, have some level of competence with regard to money management, asset selection, and asset management. But they're very knowledgeable in those areas. But I'm going to encourage you to go to find somebody who goes that one step beyond, somebody who understands not just the relationships between, with money and money management, but also understands you, what makes you tick, what you like, what you don't like, what makes you happy, what makes you afraid. Because when it comes to your money, all these emotions are going to become involved. And if this person can't relate to you in a positive way and keep you in harmony with your money and what's going on, it's probably not the person for you. Because remember, this must be a living document. That means that you're going to have to meet with your planner once a year, at least, if not 3 or 4 times a year, just to review things where they're at and update the plan because there are changes that are going to happen in your life uh, because everything changes. Okay, not just the markets and the economy, but you're going to change at different times in your life. Your goals may change. Your priorities for those goals will change. Okay, retirement may not be as important today if you're 30 years old, but when you're 64, it's going to be very significant to you. So bear in mind, these changes are going to happen, and you're going to have somebody who understands you all the way through and keeps you in tune and in harmony with what's going on in the world. Remember, you can't control the world, but you can control your reaction to the world. That's why who you select as your financial planner is extremely important. Now, I know that some are thinking, well, hey, meeting with a planner, having a plan created, getting together with them once, at least once, maybe 3, 4 times a year, that sounds pretty expensive. But actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, like most planners, like me, we strive to deliver 3 times the value of any fee we may charge. So that makes it much more bearable when you think about it. So actually, you've only got one choice to make. You can continue doing what you're doing, muddling on through, and whatever happens, happens, and likely never meeting your goals. That's making no choice. Or you can choose to position yourself for success and give yourself the opportunity to reach for the stars and obtain everything you want from life. The sooner you make that choice, the easier your path will be.